Alrighty, so we are wrapping up this unit. So today you will be doing your thinking cap workbook pages, which we'll talk about a little. But before we get into that, let's take a look at your workbook pages from yesterday. So Derek takes 30 minutes to make one friendship bracelet. How many hours does he take to make 8 similar bracelets? So we need to be thinking about the fact that if he is making 8 every 30 minutes, so we're going to multiply to get how many total minutes. So 8 times 3 is 24, and then we add that 0 on to get 240 minutes. Now we need to think about if we were to convert this into hours. So how many hours are in 240 minutes? So 1 hour is 60 minutes, 2 hours is 120, 3 hours is 180, 4 hours is 240. So this equals 4 hours. So for A, you should have gotten 4 hours. Now for B, they want to know how many similar bracelets can he make in 10 hours. So the first thing that we need to be thinking about is 1 hour is equaling 2 bracelets. So with that being said, then in 10 hours, he is able to do 2 per hour. So we'll just put a little line here. So in 10 hours, he's doing 2 bracelets per hour, and then there's 10 hours to get 20 bracelets. Okay, so all we need to be thinking about for this one is that B gives us 20 bracelets because 1 hour, 2 bracelets. Okay, so think of it how to break that down, and they also give you a little hint over there. So for number 8, Hannah left home at 6:15 a.m. She took 1 hour, 55 minutes to ride to Maple Park and 2 hours, 20 minutes to ride home. She did not spend any time at the park. How long did she spend riding in all, and what time did she return home? So first thing that we need to do is we need to add these times in order to get a total amount of time that she was out of the house. Alright, so we're going to add these times here. So we'll do our 55 plus 20, so 5 plus 0 gives us 5, and 5 plus 2 gives us 7, and then 2 plus 1 gives us 3 hours. Now right away, you should be thinking about the fact that we have 75 minutes. If it's 60 or over, that cannot stay. So we need to break this up and pull out 1 hour, and then we'd be left with 15 minutes. And then we need to add our hours, so that 3 hours plus 1 hour gives us 4 hours, 15 minutes. And that is the answer for A. Now B, they want to know what time did she return home. So she left at 6:15 a.m. and now we need to do a timeline and jump a total of 4 hours and 15 minutes. So off the bat we can jump those 4 hours. So if we're starting at 6:15, 7:15, 8:15, 9:15, 10:15. So our next jump will be at 10:15. And then we still need to jump an additional 15 minutes to get to that end time. So 15 minutes added to 10:15 would bring us to 10:30 a.m. Now this is page 167 in your workbook. So Twyla sews teddy bears. She takes 3 hours, 40 minutes to sew the first teddy bear and 2 hours, 55 minutes to sew the second teddy bear. She finishes sewing the teddy bears at 8:10 p.m. What time did she start sewing? So first thing we need to do is figure out how much time she worked. So we're going to add our time. 3 hours and 40 minutes and 2 hours 55 minutes. So this will give us 95 minutes and 5 hours. Now again, this cannot stay like that, so we need to pull out an hour here, and then we're thinking 95 minus 60 leaves us with 35 minutes to then get a total time of 6 hours and 35 minutes that she was working. Now the second part is they want to know what time did she start sewing. So this is a two-step problem here. So she finished at 8:10. So we'll get the timeline going, and we know her end time was 8:10, and now we need to work to find the start time. So however you'd like to do it, if you jumped, you broke up the 6 hours and did 3 and 3, that totally works. Or you could just go right for the 6 hours. And 6 hours before 8:10 brings us to 2:10. Now this is where some people got tripped up here, okay? So we need to go a total of 6 hours and 35 minutes, but we're at 2:10. So we're going to break this up and go back to the solid hour so we don't get confused here. So we'll go back 10 minutes to be at 2 o'clock. Now we need to think if we went 10 minutes and we needed to do 35. So we have left 25 minutes. So we're going to do that final 25-minute jump. And then it brings us back into another hour, so we'd be at 1:35 p.m. for our final answer for this one. So this is the time that she started sewing. Alright, number 10. Jim finished work at 5:10 p.m. according to his watch. His watch was 15 minutes slow. What was the actual time that he finished work? So anytime that they're telling us a watch is slow, it means it's behind. So we need to jump it ahead in order for it to be at the correct time. So if it's 15 minutes slow, really all we need to be doing is adding 15 minutes to this to get to 5:25 p.m. Now, they want to know what actual time did he start working. So he works for 8 hours and 15 minutes. So we now have his end time, and we need to figure out his start time. So we're going to get our timeline going. And we have the time that he finished work. So we'll add that here. Okay, and then we need to start jumping. Okay, so total of 8 hours and 15 minutes. So I would suggest breaking up this 8 hours. It's a lot to go back. So let's do 4 hours first. We'll count back, make sure it makes sense. Okay, so if we're at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 25. Okay, and then we can go another 4 hours. To get to, so we're at 1, so 12, 11, 10, 9, 25. And now, so we've gone the 8 hours, but we still need to go 15 minutes. Now, if we take a look at this, our time that we're at is 9:25. So if we went back 15 minutes, we'd still be within the same hour. So we can go back the full 15 minutes. So this is different than this one because if we went back a total of 35 minutes from 2:10, that means we are going into a new hour and having to subtract all these minutes. It gets messy. So this one we can simply just do 25 minus 15. So this is easy, and we can just do this jump back. So that's how those two are different and why we are doing different things between the two problems. So then we have to go 9:25 minus 15 minutes brings us to 9:10 a.m. And that would be your final answer for B. All right, so you are doing your thinking cap today. Now remember, thinking cap is a little more challenging, so it may take some time. It is only a couple problems, so really take your time. Don't rush through this. So for clock A, I would suggest writing what time it is first. So take a look at the clock. Remember, this is your hours. This is your minutes. And if it's 25 minutes slow, then it means it's behind and we need to push it ahead. Now, if clock B is 10 minutes fast, okay, then we should be able to figure out from there by going back, okay? So you got to be thinking about what slow versus fast means, okay? And there's going to be a lot of these, so make sure we're getting comfortable with that. And then your second page is a little temperature one. So this is more of working backwards here. So scientists in Snowland found that it's warmer in January than in July. It is warmer than July than in June. October is warmer than July but colder than January. List these months in order from warmest to coldest. So make a list and compare in order to see which one is warmer than the next, and then go from there. Now remember, it should be warmest to coldest. Don't do coldest to warmest, okay? Remember, once you get to important testing, if you are not listing it in the correct order, although you may have done everything right and known the correct answer, it's going to be marked incorrect. So you got to double check what order that they would like it in. All right, do your best. Thinking cap is a challenge, so don't get yourself stressed out if you are really struggling. Try and think it through. If there's anybody at home that can kind of guide you, that would be perfect, or just send me a message on Seesaw if you need a little help. All right, good luck.